Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Monday, August 16th. And yeah, I'm wondering if this market will top with stocks when they get into their third wave. You know how we've been looking at the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq and the stocks today. That will be quite sort of interesting. They might be around the same time. Now, there's the two basic points here is that we're looking at this one count as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for the A wave, and then coming back up to the 61.8%, roughly the 50,000 for wave B, and then wave C down here. I did some work on the weekend, and I don't think that if wave C came down here, I was kind of looking around 27,000 for that move, not a big move down to, under 20, but that's another story. We'll go there later. The two things that we need to talk about today are the bearish count and the bullish count. This is the bearish count. And there's two ways to count this coming up here for wave B. We can have it the way we've got it at the moment, or we can put wave A here and wave B here. We should probably be a little bit more logical, but based on that, we would want 5 waves to the upside. So we need to have a look at that. We can do that now. I'll just put this back here because this has been my count since day dot, and let's go in and have a closer look at that bearish count. I think we can go to the 8 hour here for that. So yeah, just I'm just nutting this out logically. Okay, so this would be the bearish count where we've got wave A here, and then an A wave here, a B wave here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 5 waves up here. So we would need to have, might just go to the smaller version, but as you can see here, wave 3 is smaller than wave 1. So that means that wave 5 here needs to be smaller than wave 3, if this is going to be the case, So we can put that there. We'll just move that there. So that's where that, just roughly speaking, and here we'd look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 3, 4, and 5 to finish off. Let me just go to the 6 hour chart. This is, we could label this. I thought I had these over here for that. So we can put that there, that there. I mean, we're going to get this at minimum, you know what I mean? So because that move coming down from 1 to 2 is corrective, so we're going to see a new high. So just putting these in here to complete the pretty picture. So if that was going to be wave B, this would be the logical count, right? Even if I had it my other way around, which having this A, B and C here, having this a little bit different. I think I've got that on my 2 hour chart. Yeah, so this is the way I'd been originally counting it. And I don't see a problem with this either for the time being. This would be the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave for wave A, and then the B wave. The other one looks a bit more logical, and then looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5 here. As you can see here, there's a bit of data missing here, I'm not sure about that, but this is in 3 waves here, so we can look at this being wave 1 here, and wave 2, and wave 3, 4, and 5. So if you're considering selling, then this would be the point to do it at, I might as well just use these here. For that. And yeah, the way I've counted this in here, I had a bit of data missing in here as well. So if I just bring across the other platform here, so picking it up from Where have I done that from? Oh no, I've done that a bit differently. I'll have to double check that then, but it doesn't matter for the time being anyway. So we'd still expect, you know, wave 3 here to be, you know, as somewhere in here, and wave 4 and wave 5. So yeah, anyway, that's the bearish count for wave B, and then we would head down from that point. As I've always said right from the bottom, it will, for me anyway, when we don't know the count, I mean, we've been long coming up here for Ethereum and Bitcoin, so we've done all the right things. We've traded what we know, we traded what we see, but as I mentioned, until we see you know, a pattern, I can't turn bullish unless I see this pattern here, basically. So this is the 50,000. So we're looking for the first high above the level, basically. And at the moment, we're looking for 5 waves up here. Those 5 waves are these 5 waves here. So we'll see how that plays out. And then we'll have an ABC, and then we've got to get support back over here. So then I would be more bullish at that point. Now, we can get a variation of this particular pattern, but that's not important just yet. So yeah, this is the 61.8%. When we look at markets like Total, let me just bring that across here. Just bringing Total across, so just the daily chart. So once again, if we were looking at this down here as 5 waves down here, then we could look at the A, the B, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the C wave. So, you know, I wouldn't go long here unless I had that level over here for that, because this would be the point where this is retesting this major trading level 2 here, and that's where it would fail from. So on the short side, we could short it from here, but there's a little bit more to it than that. But yeah, we'd want to see we want to see this occur here for this. So it's the same with Bitcoin as well in that regard. So that's that side of the fence. So on the bullish side, we were looking at it like the bullish side essentially is bringing this wave 4 into play here. Okay, so it's always been a bit of a long shot. But if we get, you know, if we get a classic trading levels pattern at the 50 here, then, you know, then we'll need an excuse to have an account to go long, you know, and this would be the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave here for this. And then looking at this as 1 here, I know that's a bit hard to swallow, and the 2's hard to swallow as well. So I understand that, you know. So anyway, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and now we've also got 1 and 2 coming into here, so we can look at that. I think I've got that on the 4-hour chart. So wave 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 here, and then slightly different count, but the same in a way. We'll be looking for 1 and 2 and going up for 3, 4 and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave for the third and fourth, and we just keep on climbing at that point. And the levels are important up here as well. So just briefly here, when we get to the 50,000, 51, 52 and 53, that's all of group 1. So normally what I do is that if we get a tested support on top of group 1, that tells me that we're severing any connection with the 50,000 at that point, and we'll be pushing to 55 at that point. So that 53 is really important here. So the 51, 52 and 53, they also sort of act like sort of filters or resistances on the way up, and they can peg the market back to the 50,000. And also too, when we get to the 53 here, even if we trade above it, the market comes here and has that first high above the level, so it can trade above the 50 and, you know, can go to 54, 55, and then, you know, fade back again. But we want that first high above the level there. That's what we're looking for, and this would be the classic trading levels pattern here. So it's at this point here that would tell me that we're bullish at that point. That would also tell me that we're leaving this number, and would need those to be triggered though, of course, and we would move up to the 55 at that point. And yeah, so the 53 is really a line in the sand. If we get a tested support, then we know that we're going higher at that point. I just think we should have an open mind and trade what we see. I don't think, unless you can say with confidence, you know, and put your money on it and prepared to lose it or win it, whatever, you know, then, you know, I think it's best to have an open mind and, you know, wait for the evidence, you know. So that's what we'll do. Yeah, so this move up through here, it's either, you know, this is either building in 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and, you know, building a bigger bull trend up here, or it's diminishing. It's like this, the length of this trend, the range of this trend, the length of it, and then the length of the next one is getting smaller, and the next one will be smaller still. So you can see it in both ways. And yeah, we might need to have a look at some on-chain analytics and have a look at the entity flow to see, you know, what's being held at exchange, what's moving across in and out of exchanges, and so on. I mean, the futures, the volume in the futures is humongous. I couldn't find the volume that I wanted to, but it's just the Bitcoin volume. I was thinking about the futures volume. I can see from the CME here, we've got 5,000 contracts here for the August futures, but that would be over here. We're not worried about. We're more interested in the asset. The institutional guys here, so these like insurance, you know, institutional sorts of things, and over here the leverage funds, basically the hedge funds. So we can see here that they've added to their short positions over here. They've added 300 futures contracts, 300 odd futures, well, net 300. So. So there is pressure building at that, you know, up in that space there. So we'll see how they get pushed out. Let me just check here. I haven't seen this for a little while. We don't need those. Don't need the dealers. Oh, they are diminishing. Well, long positions are moving. But it's interesting to see here in the blue line, you can see that the insurance companies, well, the institutional guys are starting to pick up a little bit here. So that's interesting. Been a steady sort of increase on that. Anyway, where was I here? So, yeah, look, in both cases, being it bearish or being it bullish, right, we're still going to go higher. So for the short term at least, you know, we're going to be seeing, you know, 3, 4 and 5 here. If that would be for the bearish picture, and we would turn at that point. But if this was going to be the bullish case, well, then we would go wave 4 and then wave 5, and then we would know kind of where we're at a little bit further. So as I've always mentioned, you may know, I don't know, but it will all be about this, the 50,000 becoming the support for this. This is just a weekly chart here, and don't worry about the count. But what's important here is it's a trading level. So in this case, I mean, in my eyes, I see all of this. This is just a correction at the 50,000, you know. This is where it sort of, I don't know if we can really trust this volume from, you know, CFD provider as such. But yeah, we were seeing lower volume up in here. We knew that we're seeing lower volume here. There was, you know, there was no increased volume on the downside here. We can see that as these bars push up here on the weekly, that we are getting less and less volume coming into play here. Of course, we're just starting at this particular point, but it's really all about the 50,000 here becoming the support or not, because it hit the medium level here, 65, and it's come back and it's hit the next major level down here, the 30. So to me, this whole correction is all about this number over here. So to see this number here rejected or accepted, to me, that's really what it's all about. And I would need to see a pattern on top of that as a trade setup to get us that. You know, even though I've always sort of harped on, I don't know which is the right count. I mean, we still traded long all the way through here. So we've done all the right things. I'm just a bit cautious, and we'll just wait to see what pattern that we get up here, and we'll see what bearish case. I mean, as a bearish case here, you know, there's two ways that we could look at it. You know, and the higher move here would be looking at this as the A wave here and the B wave here and the C wave up here, but that would give us another move past the 61.8%. So I think that, you know, looking at the maximum for this corrective move would be looking for 5 waves in here. Once those 5 waves are finished, then any move above that would be, I'd have to look at that as being bullish at that point, you know. Having 3 waves up through here, that could do the trick as well as my first count that I had. But this would give us the full sort of Monty, you know, having this as the A wave, the B wave, because the only other way to look at this, even if you called the low in where the B wave is and you had 5 waves here, well, then you would, and still looking for a corrective move, you'd have 3 here, and then you'd have another 5 over here, and then you would go down at that point. So that's possible as well. But once we get past those 5 waves here, then I think that we can look at being bullish. We'll certainly be trading bullish at that point, you know. So we'll look for that setup. So I'll just leave it at that for the time being. Like I've mentioned, we won't know until we get to this place. Alrighty, cheers.